who's really even surprised here? Let's talk about it.
Roxiie says we're gonna talk about it.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Roxiie with Roxiie Says, and we're gonna talk about it. Today, we talking about Love Island stuff. Y'all already know what it is. You know why you're here. Let's get right into this video. But before we do, please don't forget to hit like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure that you hit that notification bell so that you are made aware every time I upload a video. And please do not forget to hype up this one, okay? Thank you all so much in advance. So before we get into this video, I just have to give a shout out to the island of Jamaica. As some of y'all know, my family is from the Caribbean, from the islands of Grenada, Trinidad, and St. Vincent, just neighbors of Jamaica. My mom is actually in Grenada right now. But as I've said on my channel multiple times before, I absolutely love Jamaica, love the people of Jamaica. I was there 4 times alone just last year, and I was there for Halloween. I was supposed to be there this Halloween, but we made other plans. But it's so important to know that Jamaica is much more than a travel destination. This is these people's real home. And me being from Brooklyn, New York, I have so many childhood friends who are Jamaican, whose family is still in Jamaica, and some of them have not been able to get in contact with their families. And I also have loved ones who are in Jamaica. Thankfully, everyone is safe, but my thoughts and prayers are definitely with all of the people of Jamaica and everyone else impacted by Hurricane Melissa, because Jamaica was not the only island touched by this hurricane, okay? And I've also linked down below how you can help as well. And if you can't do anything monetarily, you can share the link. That goes a great distance. But Walk Good LA is where I donated as well, okay? Thank you all so much for listening. Now let's get into the mess of this video. Okay, so Huda and Louis, they were apparently on a Twitch stream. They were live and they were taking phone calls from fans. And let's get one thing straight. Let's get one thing straight off the bat. Whether it's someone who actually hates Olandria who called in, or if it was a fan of Olandria trying to rage bait Huda, her and Louis's response to that word, to what they heard, was genuine. It was genuine. It makes no difference who was on the other end of that phone. Let's get that out the way. So don't come up in the comments talking about, oh, it was a setup. It's irrelevant, baby. Irrelevant, okay? But we're gonna get into everything. We're gonna get into the video, Huda and Louis's original trash statements before they deleted those, okay? Olandria and Shelly's responses, comments and posts from the cast, and Louis and Huda's PR crafted responses after they got dragged up and down the internet for their original responses. But how about we start off on a lighter note, okay? You know, things are kind of serious. Let's take a step back. Let's start off on a lighter note with a little video.
The reason there's no hair up my nose is because she talks to me face on every day. It sizzles the hair in my nose because your breath is that bad.
That's a fat ass one.
Ciao. So he's trying to read something, okay? And she clowns him. And baby, he was not having it. Let's listen.
Cast.
Sorry guys, he has a speech impediment.
Coast to coast. And you got bad breath.
No, I don't. That's
yeah, you do. Your thing's.
I don't.
The reason I got no hair up my nose. The reason
this morning I gave him kisses.
Is because she talks to me face on every day. It sizzles the hair in my nose because your breath is that bad.
Ciao. This man has been waiting to say this, and he means every word of it. I believe him. The way that he looked over at her and said, "Girl, your breath stinks," he means every single word of what he just said. And she's talking about, well, I kissed you this morning, child. He not done yet. Louis ain't done yet, okay?
It's not.
Yes, it is. I brush my teeth more than you do.
It doesn't work.
Okay.
I came in here.
His breath
That's why I was letting you do my job. I came in here to ask y'all for something. If you
Now watch the friend jumping in because he even feels awkward, okay? He's like, look, I just came here to help y'all out. Like, what's really good? What's going on with you two?
needed something or you needed something.
I'm okay.
I'm sure.
Do you need it?
Thank you. No, I'm good.
All right, just making sure. Now I'm going to slide about it.
Probably some mouthwash.
The friend asked Louis if they need anything. Louis said, bring some mouthwash for Huda. Baby.
Cost.
Listen. Even if what he was saying wasn't true, the fact that your man is trying to embarrass you, the fact that y'all are willing to come online and embarrass each other, Y'all don't really like each other and y'all don't have no respect for each other, okay? Even the friend felt awkward, like I said. These were below the belt insults, okay? And even in Louis's laughter, you can see a bit of awkwardness and nervousness there. That's what it looks like. What we about to see that they tried to deem as nervous and awkward laughter, baby, it's not the same. It is not the same, okay? But hood rats, hoodanators, let's forget about Olandria for a second. Don't y'all want better for your girl? Don't y'all want better for your girl than for her man to be saying that her breath stinks on live? That's y'all queen, right? Y'all should all be dragging Louis, okay? But y'all, we're about to get into this video where the caller said what they said and these two reacted, and people were tagging Huda and Louis's sponsors, Huda Beauty, Peacock, Call of Duty, Gymshark, and everyone in between. And forgive me, y'all, I am so out of the loop with Love Island. Baby, I was yesterday years old when I found out that Olandria and Shelly's fan bases were beefing. I didn't know y'all were beefing. I thought y'all were cool. So I had to take me a little crash course on what happened between the two fan bases, or what happened between the two. I'm still confused on some of it, so y'all can fill me in the comments. But back with this Huda girl, child. Even when the season started, I tried to give her grace. I tried to give her grace. But baby, by the end of the season, after seeing how she moved, the verbal and emotional abuse, the sexual coercion, the jealousy, the lies, and so many people were tricked into calling Olandria and Shelly mean girls in defense of this girl right here, in defense of Huda. Can you imagine? We ain't do that over here though. So let's get into this video where Huda and Louis laugh at the disgusting racial slur that they heard. All right.
Hello?
Baby, you might want to turn the light. Hello?
Whoa, hey.
You gotta turn that shit off.
Baby, what's funny? Let's watch it again.
Whoa, hey.
You gotta turn that shit off.
Hey.
Yo, what the fuck? What did they say?
What did they
They
say?
said a bad word.
What did they say? They said a bad word. Let's get one thing straight. If we can hear it, girl, you definitely heard it. Louis, you definitely heard it, okay? So you were either laughing at Olandria's name or you were laughing at the N-word. Talking about, what did they say? Girl, you heard exactly what they said. And forget all of that nervous, chuckling, awkward shit that they're trying to sell, that they were trying to sell. No one was buying it. No one was buying it. Nothing about hearing a racial slur makes me feel awkward or feel like laughing, like, ha, ha, ha. No, it's disgusting. It's appalling. It's offensive. Whether it's directed to my demographic or not, the last thing that I feel is, what did they say? No. And we know what nervous laughter looks like. That's not what that was. They were enjoying it. They were genuinely amused by hearing what they heard. And when Louis catches himself, he's like, oh, hold on. Hood is acting like she didn't hear what was said, but then confirmed that she actually did hear what was said when she responded to the backlash of her reaction, her and Louis's reaction in that video. And both of those responses were pure BS. They were extremely dismissive, as if someone calling out racism is just a hater. The way that the word hater is used, child, we need to study it, okay? Because y'all are not using the word hater correctly. So let's see these two pre-PR statements that they made before they had to spin the block and do it over because they were getting dragged up and down the internet. So Huda says, y'all, first of all, clickbait using a sensitive topic is actually insane. Me and Louis did not hear what was said in that no caller ID on live, only the racial slur. We only heard the racial slur, which we then hung up immediately. I don't condone anything of the sort. Whoever called purposely, continuously while we were on live, I really don't condone racism. Which is why I was immediately, she wrote that, which is why I immediately hung up. Once again, we did not hear it very well considering it sounded like a child. Only the last slur. Girl, you keep, that's the okay. She's like, I only heard the slur, yeah, and you laughed. That's the issue, child. She says, I just wanted to address this before it blows out of proportion. Then she also says, laughter was because it was awkward, in all caps. You idiots. You idiots, it was awkward. Like, who the heck says something offensive like that on a call, on his live? And as you can hear me say, what did they say? And they said a bad word. Oh, yeah, she said that too. Oh, what did they say? They said a bad word, because that's all I heard was the bad word. And it was awkward and inappropriate. Whoever said it was wrong. Now, listen. I feel like it's one thing for old tweets to resurface from someone. Let's say they were a teenager, a preteen, and they were saying some trash stuff, and now they're adult and they've changed and they've grown and they acknowledge what they said was wrong or how they used to think, whether it's through deprogramming or leaving their small town or their trash family, indoctrination, whatever. We still got to watch those people. Okay, we still got to watch those people. But some people you can see when there's growth there. You get what I'm saying? Thinking that someone saying the N-word in 2025 today with the hard ER is funny, thinking that that's amusing, shows absolutely zero growth. Okay, you're the same Huda who was too busy and had a lot going on before and after the reunion, had so much going on that you couldn't speak out against the racism that both Shelly and Olandria were facing. And I don't know much about this Louis character, but from what I can see, these two are a match made in anti-black heaven, baby, because they both thought that this was so hilarious. And Louis is biracial and Huda has a biracial daughter. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Then she continues to say over and over, I only heard the slur, y'all. I only heard the slur. Yeah, and you laughed. That's the problem. Oh, it sounded like a child, and I really don't condone racism. We laughed because it was awkward, because who would say something like that? And in this initial post, there was absolutely no mention or apology to Olandria. Not once did she even mention her name. But wait, there's more, because her dummy ass boyfriend Louis also posted something that he knew to delete because he was getting dragged up and down the internet streets. Let's listen to what Louis had to say, all right?
But people calling her racist and then calling me racist. Sorry. Cough, cough. I don't know if you can fucking see. I'm black. Yeah? You know, not the darkest, but I've definitely been.
Thinking that you can't be anti-black because you're black is hilarious. Is hilarious. But let's keep going.
Kicked in the face with it, right? And she's with me. So, make it make sense, bro. Bro, the world has gone to shit, bruv. Like, our kids are gonna grow up in like this. This is just an opportunity for the haters of my girl to fucking run with hate.
So the people who called out racism are haters. Let's also read what else he tweeted, or whatever the hell this is. So he says, start off by saying, don't condone no racism, but something happened on my live with a prank call and someone said something and a slur. I laughed, then hung up because all I understood was the slur. So both of them letting us know all they heard was the slur, and that's what made them laugh. Okay, all I heard was the slur, but now finding out there was a name in front of it, but we didn't hear that. So just want to say that as much as people want to call me a clout chaser and all that BS, I really hate the Love Island fan base. And as a black man who has experienced enough racism all my life, I don't even want to give the person that said the slur the satisfaction that they get from this. But I have to come here and say something because it wasn't what we heard. Child, that was hard as hell to read. That was a hard read. But he says, okay, listen to what he says. He says that now finding out that there was a name in front of it, we didn't hear it. So I just want to say that he thinks that people are upset because they laughed at Olandria. That's what these two think. So that means in their mind, they think that laughing at Olandria's name is worse than laughing at the N-word with the hard ER, because that's what they think we're upset about. They think that we're upset because they laughed at Olandria. They're not even, it's not even clicking for them that the issue is that you laughed at the racial slur. My God, today. My God, today. Are we serious, child? So listen, this man really made a statement to say, well, I'm black, so it's impossible for me to be anti-black. And Huda, Huda sleeps with black men. So, I mean, of course, you know, she can't be racist or anti-black because everybody knows that non-black people, who sleep with black people, cannot be anti-black because that's just, I mean, that's just the way it works, right? Hopefully one of his friends can sit his dumb ass down and help him understand because, baby, we don't got time. We don't got time. It's 2025. We do not have time. And again, to label these people calling you out for racism, for racism as haters is very telling. Now, like I said before, I am not familiar with Louis, whatever the hell his name is, but all up and through those comments were people saying that he rarely ever refers to himself as a black man. And I also saw people saying that this is the first time that they've ever heard him refer to himself as a black man, and it seems very convenient, okay? So let's get into Olandria's response to all of this. I absolutely loved how she handled this and how she responded. Let's get into it together, okay? So Olandria said, I do not condone racism of any kind, nor do I entertain it. That kind of language is never acceptable, not in anger, not as a joke, not ever. Words like that carry generations of pain, and pretending otherwise only keeps the cycle going. Defending it, laughing about it, or making excuses is even worse. I will not let this moment derail my purpose of uplifting my community. I'm standing firm in who I am and using this as an opportunity to call for real accountability and awareness. We all have a role in building a culture where speaking to one another with respect is the standard, and where speaking against hate speech is the bare minimum. The bare minimum. While I anticipate this will result in surface level apologies that fade in a few days, I'd like to transform this moment into something actionable. I encourage those who participated in the stream and their followers to demonstrate a genuine commitment to anti-racism by donating to organizations and foundations dedicated to educating and uplifting this community, such as the UNCF, NAACP, and or the Thurgood Marshall College Fund. I will be making a personal donation as well. In the next slides, I'll be sharing donation links to contribute in support of HBCUs and underfunded educational sources for Black students. Absolutely beautiful. I love how she did that. And I also love that she was proactive in shutting down Huda and Lewis's ability to come with their BS. And she knew that's what they would do. We all knew that that's what they would do. But she used this opportunity to benefit her community in telling Huda and Louis to put their money where their mouth is, as well as their followers who were on the live and thought it was funny as well, and donate to a Black organization, a true call to action. She also gave suggestions, so can't nobody say, oh, I was too busy. I had a lot going on. I couldn't look it up. Oh, no excuses. Here it is for you. But we also see that Shelly wrote a response too. So let's read that. So Shelly says, seeing what happened with a former Love Island castmate and her partner laughing during a prank call that included a racist remark towards Olandria was disappointing, to say the least. Racism isn't a prank. It's not entertainment. And it's definitely not something to laugh at. As a Black woman, it's painful to watch moments like this play out so casually, because it shows how normalized disrespect and ignorance can become when people choose silence or humor over accountability. Having been on the receiving end of hate and racial comments, I know deeply that can cut and would never wish that pain on anyone. Any form of racism should always be checked right away. There's nothing awkward about racism. Heavy on the there's nothing awkward about racism. It's disgusting and disheartening, and I'll always speak on it. Let's not make light of moments like these. There's a bigger message here. Use your voice and stand up for what's right, no matter the time, place, or who's watching. As always, love and peace. And I agree with everything Shelly said. Racism is not funny or awkward. It's disgusting, and their response was very telling. So, child, not only were the Love Island fans dragging these two up and down the internet streets, we also got some comments from their castmates, okay, who saw their reaction and commented how they felt about it, okay? So, child, Hannah made a post denouncing racism flat out, and she said that it should be called out every single time, period. Hannah, shout out to her. Someone told Jeremiah to send Olandria some love, and he said that he did that as soon as he saw it. He said that he reached out to both Olandria and Nick. Amaya says that she was speechless. Amaya said that she was speechless. Leah said they shocking people. And I'm like, shocking who? Not us, girl. Ain't nobody shocked by this. Ariana said no words. And Nick commented disgraceful people. Okay, so child, apparently someone reached out to both Huda and Louis and said, let me help y'all out a bit because that first response was straight up trash. Here is the official apology from Huda. It's giving very much PR. It's giving very much, let me just say what I need to say so I don't lose whatever I got going on. Let's read it together, okay? So Huda said, I have taken the majority of the day to reflect and collect my thoughts to make sure this didn't come off as disingenuous. Last night, I quickly posted a statement acknowledging the reaction to the racial slur that was said on Louis' live stream, okay? Not mine, on Louis' live stream. I want to take this moment to more fully take accountability for my actions. I want to begin by saying I completely respect Olandria, and it's extremely disheartening that anyone, especially a presumed child, would find it excusable to use this type of language, and doing so only underlines the ignorance of the gravity that such a word carries. Oh, now the word carries gravity. Before it was, now it carries. Okay, let's continue. Olandria, it's now clear that this comment was targeted at you, and I apologize for my immediate reaction. My reaction in that moment came from being caught off guard, not from finding the word or situation funny. It was a nervous, uncomfortable reaction that I recognize was inappropriate. I want to be clear that I don't condone or tolerate anyone who uses such language, and I strongly encourage the individual responsible to reflect deeply on their words and the harm they've caused. Listen, what the person said, whether it was a child, an adult, whether they were using voice-changing technology, whatever, yes, they are absolutely trash. But what you're getting dragged for is your reaction. I feel like she's trying to put it more on the person who called than her reaction to it, okay? I'm making a personal donation to the NAACP and encourage anyone who feels moved to do the same. I will also share a list of additional organizations that support racial equity, education, and mental health support so that anyone who wants to contribute can do so meaningfully with love. Huda, and we see that she also posted some links to where people can donate. Okay. And I feel the same way about this apology as Andy felt at the reunion when he said, okay, so you've had how long to change and you're just a completely different person. Not buying it. Not buying it. This time the backlash was really strong and it was real backlash. So she had to apologize and she had to name Olandria and she had to call out racism in the actual word. Okay. But baby, this was hilarious to them. This was hilarious to them. And I can only imagine what else the both of them find funny when they're not on live. If this was so funny and it took y'all being dragged to realize, oh, they're not upset that we laughed at Olandria. They're upset because we laughed at the N-word. If it took you this much and y'all's immediate reaction was to dismiss those calling you out, how can we read these? And we're going to get to Louis' his PR apology. But after seeing what your initial true response was, unfiltered, how can we now read this and be like, yeah, she changed in a day. Yeah, she did. That's my girl Huda. We can't do that. We can't do that, okay? Yes, the person who called in is a loser and they're trash and they might be a damn kid, but your reaction was your reaction, all right? Let's get into Louis' official apology now, all right? So Louis said, I'd like to extend my sincerest apology to all those affected by the caller, who used language that completely goes against everything we stand for. Huda and I were extremely caught off guard. As a black man, I have greater empathy through my own lived experiences battling racism, and the idea that a flustered response to a very unnerving situation could be misinterpreted. For me, not taking the matter seriously is incredibly disheartening. How dare you people misinterpret me laughing at the N-word? How dare you? That is so disheartening. Is he blaming us? Is he blaming us? So he continues, I was extremely shocked that someone would so casually use harmful and dangerous language, and Huda and I both recognized the immediate need to end the call so we could process what had just happened. We were shocked that what sounded like a young caller could so thoughtlessly speak that way. This was an extremely unfortunate situation, one that in no way reflects my values nor Huda's. We are both very proud of the way that we've used our platforms to be a voice for those who are often underrepresented, especially on on TV, we are even more motivated now to approach every single audience interaction with respect, inclusivity, and care. Oh, bravo, Louis, bravo. We hear what y'all are saying, but no one believes you, baby. No one is believing y'all, okay? After all of the backlash that these two got, they did exactly what we all expected them to do. They deleted their true feelings and true responses and hired someone to assist them in crafting something a bit better. They got someone to clean up those statements because, baby, those sponsors were probably reaching out like, you two dummies better fix this shit. Y'all better figure it out. Not necessarily, I'm speaking about the sponsors, not necessarily because they were too offended and disgusted by what was said. Oh, no, but it's because they're not going to let these two interfere with their bottom line. But we know how Louis and Huda really feel. And what we know most of all is that none of this will shake or outrage or offend the majority of their fan base. Because a lot of that fan base, dare I say the majority of that fan base, rallied behind Huda for the mere fact that her enemy or her enemies were Black women, Shelly and Olandria. They probably laughed out loud when they heard it too. Oh, and to the Black women who are still defending Huda and are still twisting and turning to excuse and justify this, baby, she would laugh at you being called the N-word too. And that's all I got for y'all today. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe before you leave. Make sure that you hype the video up. And baby, I cannot wait to see you in my next one. Bye!
Roxiie says we're gonna talk about it.